Let me ask you this question. Is it pro or anti MS-13 to send people who informed against MS-13 in trials to forcefully deport them to El Salvador, a country that tends to be heavily influenced by MS-13? You get that? People who informed on a criminal drug gang in court, sending them to states and countries where reportedly, like El Salvador, that MS-13 has much better connections to be able to get their hands on those informants. You know, the informants that sent major officers in that organization to prison. Cost them money, things of that nature. Sending them to those organizations. Is that anti or pro MS-13? Next question. If you think that that would be very pro MS-13 or anti MS-13 to send people who informed against MS-13, what would you say if that was the Secretary of State of the United States who did that, who established a deal with the president of El Salvador to do that? Would that person be pro or anti MS-13 to establish a deal to transfer informants to El Salvador? Just a second, a little bit more. What if that also included the Attorney General of the United States, Pam Bondi? So the Attorney General of the United States, Pam Bondi, the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, make an agreement with the El Salvadorian government to send informants to El Salvador, a country that is known for having lots of MS-13 influence inside of their government, to get a hold of these informants. Would that be pro or anti MS-13? Would that make future informants be willing to talk to the Department of Justice when the person who is in charge of the Department of Justice, the Attorney General of the United States, Pam Bondi, just sent a bunch of informants to El Salvador, basically handing them back to MS-13, and supported by the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio? What do you think future informants would do? That's really the question, isn't it? One, is it pro or anti MS-13 to send informants against MS-13 to go to back to MS-13? And then to go one step beyond that, what do you think future informants that are connected to organizations like MS-13 would want to do with the United States? Because informants have gone to El Salvador because of an agreement made by the Secretary of State and the Attorney General Pam Bondi. Answer the questions in the comments, and like, share, and subscribe, hopefully. And don't forget, 11/22, November 22nd, we need to get these people out of office because they are making our country unsafe. Thank you.